Hello everyone, my name is Ruben and welcome to your design challenge. To download your free resources and create it with us, simply click on the source link in the description below or simply just use your own files. Welcome everyone on the chat. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Happy Monday, happy Halloween, everyone of course. And remember that we are live on Behance every day with more tutorials like this. Don't forget to join us on Discord by posting your stuff. Our mentors can definitely help you level up your design skills and other creatives to inspire you. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's jump into our design challenge. In today's design challenge, we're going to be using Photoshop and we're going to be creating or masking with typography, which means that we're going to be, blending together photography and typography, typeface, font, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to merge them together to create a really cool design for your, your project or your social media. So let's get started right away. So first things first, you can use your own design files or your own photos or whatever you want to use for this challenge, or you can, follow along and just download the files that are on the description below. So simply just go down there and get those assets, and then we can get started right away. So I'm going to just open up the first asset I have here, and which is a subject. Remember, we're going to be masking with typography. So what we're going to do here is actually use this photo, use this subject, and also combine it with some typeface. So first things first, what I'm going to do here is just duplicate this by pressing Command J or Control J on your PC. And then what we're going to do here is actually silhouette this subject, actually get it out of the background so that way we can use it the way we want it to do. So there's so many different things about, this is the beauty of Photoshop. Like there's so many different ways you can silhouette this subject, but I'm going to go and pick one that is, pretty quick and easy to do. So you can use the magic tool, but what I'm going to do is just actually go into my properties here and then just go and select the subject. Again, there's no right or wrong answer or way to do this. This is just the way I'm doing it right now, but you can, do your own way of selection or, getting things and silhouette things out of. There's so many different ways to do this, but just keep in mind that this is the beauty of Photoshop. You can create all these amazing things, and you can create your own style and own techniques. There's no right or wrong, using the lasso tool or using, channels, for example. It doesn't matter. Like what matters is you have the flexibility to do whatever you want within Photoshop. So let's just go in a little bit, and just like we see, like there's some part of the model or the subject knows that it's, it's not covered there. So I'm just going to use my, polygon tool maybe, and just like press down Shift, because we want to include this section, and I'm doing this like pretty quick so that way we're going to refine this selection, so you don't have to worry too much about it right now. So his mouth right here. Okay, that's great. Make sure you connect those dots. Perfect. Then just keep going down. We see some section here. In this case, I'm going to do Option. I'm going to press Option, and you see there's like a minus sign, and you just want to exclude this section from the selection. Boom, that's done. We're going to keep going pretty quick. Nothing crazy, like there's some there, that's fine. Okay, we're going to go down here because I saw some stuff here. In here, I'm going to include, so I'm going to press Shift, and I'm going to just like pretty quick, just select this section right here. Oh, that's great. That's perfect. Okay, that's good. Let's go to the other shoe. I see there's a lot of like, okay, so what I'm gonna do is just, okay, I'm gonna just like ballpark it and just like do like a quick selection, because remember, we're gonna refine uh, this selection later on, and you will see the magic of Photoshop. All right, so how is everyone on the chat? Are you guys having any plans for today for Halloween? Or probably you guys already have, like Halloween parties and stuff last week. All right, so back into the subject here. We have some work to do here in the hands, I think. Yes, so we have to, I'm gonna press Option, and I'm just gonna select this section so they can exclude it from the whole selection. Boom. And then the next one, let's see, something like this. Something pretty quick. Again, if you're joining us right now, welcome to the design challenge. We are using and masking with typography for today's challenge. All right, so we're just like silhouetting our subject, and I think we have a pretty good. I think we're missing something here on the hand, and this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna exclude this section right there. Same thing for this. All right, I think I got it. And then what we're gonna do, once you have it, like kind of like almost perfect, what you're gonna do is actually just keep that selection tool, whether it's the rectangular marquee tool, whatever selection you want, and then press select and mask. And what we're gonna do here is just, just look for places where we can make it a little bit better. So let's just zoom in. And then make sure you are on the second one, which is the refine edge brush. And then we're gonna make it a little bit bigger by pressing the closing bracket. Okay, and then we're gonna click on that pink, and then we're gonna start painting. So that way we get rid of those pink areas in there. Okay, that's great. I think I got it there. Here on the beard. I think I got it there too. Perfect. I think it's a great selection. And what I like to do, and this is just me, I like to go into my properties panel here and just like the radius, I'm gonna just like go 1. I'm gonna go smooth 1, and then feather like 0.5 maybe, or 6, and then scroll down, and then the output, I'm gonna go and click on the drop down and just select new layer with mask, and then press OK. And then what that does is actually silhouettes the whole thing, but you keep the whole background, so that way if you need to refine it, you can paint over the mask. So next thing that we're going to do is just add a background color. So I'm going to just, I'm going to click Command Shift N or Control Shift N, and then we're going to just name this background. I'm going to go and pick a color. I'm going to pick probably this color, maybe from his pants. I think I like that color. Boom. We have our background. Let's press F to go full view, which is awesome. We already have our subject silhouetted, which is awesome. So now we're gonna just press T or go into your tools and just press the text tool, click on it, and just type something. I don't know. Well, let's type. He's jumping, so let's just type jump. Then make this probably white. Let's see. Well, let's put it in front of our selection. Control T or Command T, and then just like grab one of those corners and just like pull down. You see that it's getting bigger proportionally. All right. So I like this font because it's thick, and this is what you need to look for when you're doing this type of designs. You got to make sure like you have enough font, like the font weight needs to be like thick. So I would suggest you to select a font that is thick, that is black. All right, I like this. And what we're gonna do is just like maybe make it a little bit bigger. Press Option, like hold down Option, grab one of those corners and you just like make it a little bit bigger. Okay, that's pretty cool right there. I'm gonna just like double click. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the actual layer, the silhouette, and let me just like name this subject. That's great. And then I'm gonna duplicate it, and I'm gonna hold down Option, and I'm gonna put it on top of the jump. And then what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna hold down Option again. And you see this, we're gonna mask it within our text, our type. So you see, if you hold down Option on your Mac or Alt in your PC, and you go in between those layers, you're gonna see a little down arrow, black down arrow with a white box. Just click on it because it's gonna just clip it to the actual typeface. If we hide, for example, if we hide what's below there, which is our, we're gonna see what's, like on top of it and what's actually, on our text. And this is what we're gonna do. So let me just get rid of this. I'm gonna just get rid of the lock. I'm gonna Command G to group that, and I'm gonna just put original. Don't forget to save your files every time you're working on something. Right now, okay, we have the background. And then what I'm going to do, we already mask it with the first one, but we want to have some sort of, kind of like show some, the head maybe and the foot down here, maybe like come in from the bottom. So what we're going to do is actually bring back the subject on the background. And maybe what we are going to do, we're going to paint over the black. Make sure you pick the black. Pick the brush. It's a normal brush, And then what we are going to do is actually, we're going to paint over, whoops. I'm going to press X and make sure you are on the mask, on the black mask. And then we're going to start painting. And what this is going to do is just like hide what's, down there. So that way you have that cool effect of like he's coming out of kind of like inside the empty. And then there's other sections where he's like in it. Like maybe we can get rid of kind of like this section here what the U is, so that way we can kind of like see through. So the way it's happening right now is because I have the opacity on 58. So we're gonna just go on the top here and just bump that into 100. So that way you can remove some of this stuff there. Ready. All right, I like that. That's pretty cool. That's dope. I don't know if let's see what's down here. We can keep like erasing. Remember that we are on the bottom layer, so we are removing like that section from there. I kind of like that there, and I'm gonna leave it. There, but I'm gonna just like remove this section, and when it wrinkles right here, I'm just gonna leave that part there. So I'm gonna just get rid of this. Just pretty cool. Okay, so I'm gonna keep removing this from the background, which is awesome. And then you can still see some of those lines there. What we're going to do is just paint back. So instead of black here on the foreground, we're going to just press X to bring the white. And then we're just going to paint over. So that way you don't see that. Perfect. All right. So let's go back again. Let's see how that looks. That's looking dope. Pretty cool stuff. All right. What I'm going to do now is probably actually add some sort of shadow to create some depth in here. Give me 1 second. All right. So what I'm going to do is just create a new layer on top of my background layer. I'm gonna go Command Shift N or Control Shift N on your PC, and I'm gonna just go and call this shadow. And then I'm gonna grab the elliptical tool, and I'm just gonna go like this, something like about there. I'm gonna pick the color, kind of like this color. So I'm going to go down, not completely black, but I'm going to go like a darker shade of that color, this green color, like about there maybe. I'm going to fill it. So Option Delete. That's cool. And then what I'm going to do is actually put some filters in it. So I'm going to go add some blur in there, some Gaussian blur. So go into filters, then go into blur, then Gaussian blur. And right now the radius is 47. I want it even more pronounced. So like about there. So click OK. And then I think the shadow is way too tall. So we're going to Command T, Control T on your PC, and then hold down Shift, and then just like bring it down a little bit. So that way it's more thinner, kind of like that. And then we're going to bring down the opacity. Like about there. Okay, great. Awesome. All right, cool. Look at how this cool effect is looking on our subject, our design. I think we can bring some of those colors, or maybe like do something with this silhouette. And what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm gonna click on the Command or Control click on the actual layer mask. So that way you select the whole thing. And then what we're gonna do is just the vibrance, go into your adjustment layer and then click on vibrance, and then just like increase the vibrance, like so that way you bring more of that color. So you can see the before and after. I'm gonna just like zoom in a little bit more so that way you can tell before, after, just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to bring also, I'm going to do another selection again. And I'm going to bring some curves. So go into your adjustment layer, click on curves, and then, okay, so like about there. And you see that we have something going through there, through our files, but that's fine. We're going to fix this in a moment. We're going to bring it down just a tiny bit, the opacity, about there. That is good. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring this, actually, we're going to bring this mask. So I'm going to just hold down Option, Alt, and bring it to the curves. Replace mask, yes. So what I did is just replace that mask, so that way it just like affects just the selection that I have in without interfering with the what I deleted here. I can see there's some sort of, you know, the vibrance is still like coming in here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to grab the mask and just like hold down Option or Alt on your PC and just bring it and just replace it and say yes. So that way that takes care of that. Awesome. I think the shadow is way too pronounced, so we're going to dim it down just a tiny bit more. Yeah, like about there. Maybe what we could do also to make this a little bit fun is just create like a lens flare. So what I'm going to do is just like, I'm going to create a new file, a new layer. So Command Control Shift N, and then let's call it flare for now. I'm going to grab the rectangle marquee tool. I'm going to hold down Shift and create a perfect square. And I'm going to fill it with, press D and fill it with black. And then what I'm going to do is go into my filters. And then we're going to go to render. And then we're going to go lens flare. And then we can pick different kinds of lens flares. I'm going to stick with the first one. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller and just move it about there maybe. And just press OK. All right. So next thing, what we're going to do is just blend that in. So we're going to go into your blending modes. Instead of normal, we're going to go down into screen probably. And then we're going to move it somewhere like around here. We can make it a little bit bigger too. Perfect. That's kind of cool. All right. And then let's zoom in. You see there is some, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's some edges here that you can mask out. But what I like to do is like actually click on the flares layer and click on Command L, Control L to bring your levels. And then what you're going to do is just bring the dark like more to the right. So that way that blends in even better. Sometimes you can bring also the white and that does the trick. But I think that did the trick already. That's cool. I think this color is working. And one thing that I love about this is that you can actually, you know, like your type, you can definitely like go back again into your type and type whatever you want. So that way you can, you know, add whatever you need in here. Like, for example, if I want to write my name, like Ruben, and you can see how that translates. Of course, you will have to adjust. You will have to adjust your layers and make sure like you can delete some of the stuff that it's already in there on your mask. So that way you bring some of those things forward, or you can hide them maybe. For example, maybe what we could do here for using my name, of course, we can just like get rid of this section here. So in the background, but remember that when you're doing this, you are going to affect some of the curves that you took, you know, the curves and the vibrance. So that way, you know, you keep your files and everything kind of like sync. And that way, if you make a change in that particular mask, then you got to make that change or delete that from the mask for your from your vibrance or for your curves. Pretty straightforward, just like pretty cool design. So we're gonna just like grab the whole thing and we're gonna move it like about, I don't know, like about there maybe. All right, I think this is good. The background is fine. Let's see. Perfect. And this is part of the, if you want to get rid of this, what you need to do is just like, it's part of the mask. So just like select that section and turn it into black. And you're going to do the same thing for each one of those. And this one as well. And there you go. That's kind of like it for today's challenge of combining photography with typefaces, with typography, in order to make this cool challenge. You know, I really enjoyed working on this. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So make sure you join our Discord and, you know, post your work in there, so that way our mentors can help you with that. All right, so see you guys tomorrow.